Scholar IT Solutions is a balanced staffing company developed by a group of professionals with an experience of over 18 plus years in staffing solutions. With years of quality and committed high-end application development and staffing experience, we have become experts at delivering the right fit, the first time. We will be glad to be your last stop and provide you with the perfect solution to your requirements. Follow Scholar IT Solutions LinkedIn page for more updates. Follow our social media pages.
Welcome guys, right? So this session is presented by Scholar IT Solutions. Okay, so it is more about all the technical platforms, right? In which to give you a guidance about technical platforms, and you can follow Scholar IT Social Networking, which they'll provide you in the end. Okay, now coming to the today's session. Today's session is about Tableau. Like from the past, like Tableau has been on the market almost a decade, but it recently Tableau jobs have also increased. Like from the past decade, the jobs are more now. There are even more now, and the opportunities from this are also very better compared to earlier. Right? So I am Rajeshwar Raipati, a Tableau trainer. Right? I also work as a Tableau developer, and I have nearly 8 years of experience, in which 6.5 and above is into Tableau. I'm basically a data geek. To be frank, I worked on various levels of data, like right from Tableau to SQL and PL SQL, data modeling, performance tuning, Informatica for a while, hardly 6 months. I can't say I worked on it, but yeah, I have an understanding. So I am a guy who is interested in the journey of the data, right? So I'd like to understand how the data is generated, how you get the data, how you create your database, how you get the data, and then how you get that into Tableau, how you visualize it, and all these things, right? So my expertise majorly lies in Tableau, SQL, and PL SQL. Yeah, PL SQL, it's been 2 to 3 years I have touched it, but yeah, my core expertise right now lies in Tableau and PL SQL. And the thing is, I am, to be frank, before Data Geek, before that, I was a math geek, right? I would like to solve these math problems and all. And over that, my transition was like after my BTech, I have done in a KPU, and then I have done my MBA from Wellington, PGD MEBIS. Then I worked as a year into the, what do you say, as a 1 year into real estate, in a real estate firm as a marketing manager. But then I saw Tableau. My sister, she's also co-trainer with me. Now my sister's name is Kalpana Raipat. So she's the one who started working on the earlier version, Tableau version 7. One day when she was working on it, I just saw that. And just believe me, I was astonished, because till that moment, I was thinking to get into IT, you need to learn this coding and scripting. But Tableau is that interface which runs only by logic. There are certain parts where coding is required, but that is minimal, and for a developer, it's not at all there. So that is how, when I saw that, once who I was a math geek, now I converted into actually Tableau geek. And from Tableau geek, when I was learning, then I understood, okay, it is more about, sorry, I have a little cough. I'll be coughing in between. Don't mind that. Okay. So then I saw, okay, Tableau. I understood that Tableau, but to survive in Tableau, like you need to understand in the data. In the long run, to survive, you need that. So I went back and learned SQL and all this data journey. And then now I am here as a Tableau trainer. And basically in Tableau, I'm literally mad at good LODs, because LODs are that concepts which will give you command on the granularity of the view. And that is where many people face a problem. And that is where I will give you a clear understanding about what are LODs and how to use them. Okay. So this is my social presence and this is my YouTube channel, right? So my channel is totally about actually LODs only. Okay, majority of my videos that you see here are about what do you say, my like what complicated real-time scenarios in what do you say LODs in Tableau, right? Now this is my LinkedIn profile where I have somewhere around 6,000 plus followers, and I regularly create content regarding what do you say uh, Tableau, and also I conduct free Tableau doubt sessions on the last Sunday of every month, and also recently we started weekly Tableau challenges. People who are working on Tableau and they want to address certain real-time scenarios, complicated real-time scenarios, right? So for them we started weekly Tableau challenges also, right? Now my Tableau public, this is my Tableau public profile, right? Here it is more about the solutions. Whoever ask me about different solutions, right? I have provided solutions in this. This is about my Tableau public profile, right? And website, it is raipatanalytics.com, which is still under construction. Okay, we are trying to build a website just like Udemy and other things where you'll have self-paced learning. Along with that, we associate with that with live sessions, right? So we'll discuss about that training later. Now let us talk about the topic that we are today. Now before going into Tableau, right? Why is a tool like Tableau, Power BI, or something like Looker? All these, there are many tools. Every business, every company is releasing a data visualization tool. The reason is every business, right? Every business is producing data. Not even business, every individual. You as your individual is producing data, right? You sorry, you when you start marking in your home, right? You keep all these, what is the income, what is the expense, and what is the saving. Even that is data, right? So everyone is generating data, and everyone wants to take data driven decision. Even if I want to buy a car tomorrow, then I need to calculate what is my income, what is my expenditure, and what is the car amount, what is the EMI, what is the fuel cost, what is the servicing cost. I have to have all this idea. I have to make a note of all these costs and see how much burden is that going to bring me every month, right? Every of us want to take this data driven decisions. So that is where all these BI tools come into picture, right? Now, in a business, generally, why do data driven decision is so important when you're talking about data? Because every business has its high days and low days, right? Now, actually, business, if when they go to the historical data and then they see, majority of the time they see a pattern of the sales, right? Even in India, we have like during festival seasons, you'll have high sales, and during regular seasons the sales are a bit low, and during the dry seasons the sales are not at all there, right? But for business, every day the expense is same. They are paying the same salaries, they are paying the same rents, they are paying the same electricity cost and everything, the same lease amount and everything. So for them, a low day is not acceptable, right? Because the same cost is incurring. They don't, any business, they doesn't want a low day, right? In India, there is something called as Big Bazaar. Majority of you might be knowing it, and those have Wednesday special, special discounted markets on Wednesday. The reason is Big Bazaar, they had these decent amount of sales on the all the 6 days of business, but there is a dip in sales on Wednesday. Now, how did they find out? They crunched their data and then they found out, okay, the certain day is giving me loss. Then what did they do is, even on that day, what did they do is they analyzed, okay, whom can we target, right? The basically who can they target is the persons who want to save a buck, right? Even I want to save a buck when it is possible, right? Now that is how they targeted. Come to us on Wednesday, we will give you special discount. That is where actually Wednesday people walk-ins are more compared to other days now, because that on that day they can save a buck. Now even on per order they might bleed a little, but on the overall they are making profit, good profits. So how did they take that decision? Based on the data that they got. Also business, they always, there is a single policy in business. It is cheaper to get a already existing customer or retain a customer than getting a new customer, right? Retaining customer costs less than bringing a new customer. So now they have to identify those returning customers who have brought, depending on the frequency of buy, right? If you are a food place, now are they coming every weekend, or at least they are coming once in a month or not? If it is a theme park or something, what is your regular frequency, and in that frequency they are coming or not? You have to identify. And if you don't, if they are not there, if certain people who are not coming, then you release some offer or something to lure them back in, right? Because you already have their data, they already experienced you. So bringing that customer is also important. So how do you identify this customer? Again, based on your data. Right, here in India, there is something called Zomato, where I keep getting these coupons stating you haven't bought us from the past 60 days. Now, if you buy it today, you will get 60% off. Okay, because I already use their services. They have my data. They have my behavior. They even have my behavior, like on which day, on which day of the week, on which time I generally used to buy. So at that point of time, they can send me a message or something to get me back into the fold. Now, how will that happen? Again, they need to base on their data. And every business wants to measure their KPIs. Why? Because KPIs tell you that what if it is going right or wrong. If your business is going right, or if your business is going wrong. Now, if your business is going right, fine. But if your business is going wrong, what are those bottlenecks in that business which are eating into your profits, so that you are not meeting your KPIs? Right? All these things, everything in here, whatever is shown in the business, everything in here, and more than this, right? More than this, every such information is present in data, but we need a tool or a way to make data tell its story, right? So when a business wants to tell its own story, but what are the elements of the story? Every business has facts or measures and dimensions. Now dimensions are what define your business, facts are what measure your business. By that I mean, now if you have gone to a superstore, right, you have your bill. In that bill, you'll have the items purchased, MRP of that, and then what is the percentage of discount? Sorry, what is the percentage of discount, and what is the final price? Even in the grand total, you'll be having what is the total price in the discount, total amount, and what is the percentage of amount that you have saved, right? So any business, whatever the products that you brought are dimensions. It's a dimension, and whatever the values that is associated it are measures. So based on these two, facts and dimensions, we will try to, generally a data visualization expert, he will try to tell a story with it. Now, when this data, which is sliced and diced based on your dimensions, hierarchies, flow of data and everything, then you can always tell a very good story with it. But what is the best way to tell a story? Because when we read, there are two types, right? When I was a child in India, there was two genres of books in my childhood. Now it has evolved into many things, but yeah, in my childhood there is something like only text-based stories, you will have only text, 1 or 2 images in that. And there is something called Tinkle, where every part of the story is an image associated with its dialogue, right? But when you talk about this, forget stories, not that, but I remember almost all the characters in Tinkle, because I saw them in front of my eyes. It is not about some visualization or something. All these characters stayed with me because I still remember the Shikari Sambu's image, Kalia the crow, and that monkey whose tail grows infinitely long. I still remember those characters because I saw them visually. Okay, so I saw them visually. So when you see that, you not only actually get involved in it, but also remember that for a very long time, right? So not only me, anyone who reads, comparatively, they have a very profound effect on any one of us, right? It is they say, right, one picture is equal to 1,000 words. That is the power of visualization, right? And basically every child is fan of telling the stories with pictures, right? Because when I have my pictures are like PPT, right? Because you have picture, you have an idea how the story is going. So from my childhood, whenever someone asks to tell a story, I used to base on pictures. Not that I'm good at drawing, I'm very bad, but I used to base on pictures and tell that. And now, after all these years, by the grace of Tableau, now I am doing the same thing. I have two passions in my life. I had it when even in my childhood. One is maths and the other is stories. Now, I never thought in my life that my future is a combination of both. Right? Now, let us see why data visualization. Now, you are seeing these two images, right? Now, this data is, these slides are not that much, numbers are not much visible. But if you see here, this is your numbers and these images of both allocated budget and current budget allocation, suggested budget and current budget. Now, these two are representation of the same data. Now, when you see this, which is easy to remember, right? The right side are easy to remember. The reason is you do not only see what are the items present, you also know their percentage of contribution, and also you can see their contribution here. I can say this is the highest, housing is the highest with 25%, and food is with 20%, and transportation is with the 10%, and personal debt is with 15%. So I have an idea, I'm visualizing this, I'm seeing this, right? Even with the current budget allocation. Now compared to these, now if you ask me which is the highest, just looking at this image, I can tell you, okay, housing is the highest. But can we do the same with here? Because you need to have at least to do a quick check among all the values and find out what is the top. And if I ask you what is the second highest, again it is problem, because first you need to find the first highest and then you need to compare the others with that to get the second highest. Right? So that is why data visualization is always better. Now this is built using Tableau. In this you can see there is something called subcategory, and in that you have profits and sales. Now it is easy for us to tell which is having good amount of sales and which is not, because it is a pictorial representation. It's fast to grab and easy to remember. That is why every business wants to develop data visualization, and that in that charts like these are advisable. Now don't go with this. For these many members, actually pie charts are not advisable. I'm just showing you as an example. Now here if you see, this one thing will give you so much of a clear detail about data visualization. Just let me open this. Now before looking at what this is, just imagine you have the world population, right? Now I want to show the world's population, which areas are most densely populated. Like whatever the cities level, what is the population and what is the density of the population, And even in the city, which areas are highly populated, which areas are mediumly populated, and which are sparsely populated. Like this, I want to show about all the cities in the world, and imagine how much big that data will be, right? But if you see here, this one world map is actually telling you about every city that is present, right? Here, if you see, for example, in India, there is something called, like we know Mumbai, right? Now, I generally love to show Mumbai because it is a clear representation. It has all the ranges. Now, if you see this core part of Mumbai, this is the most highly populated, somewhere around 40, not even 40, it is somewhere 80K. It is the data is from 2015, and whatever the values that you are seeing is per square kilometer. So here, if you see in this part, there are more than 80,000 people per square kilometer. Now, if you come to a bit of outskirts, these are the main centers like Thane and other areas where there are a bit less, 15 to 80. And these are total outskirts where you have somewhere between 2,000 to 7,000. So all this information, if you take it as a data, first thing, collating that data itself is a big task. And even once you have the data, you cannot, showing it in this detail is not possible using using any of your text table. So that is why, my friends, data visualization is the big market right now. It is now from billion, it is going $1 trillion market, right? Now the same way you can see any of the cities. See here, only in this you have many of these places, right? You have populations for any of these places. With just one image, you can have such a detailed information. So that, my friends, is the power of data visualization. So coming back to our Tableau. So now, once we established why data visualization, now why Tableau? To be frank, when Tableau was introduced into the market, from that moment, data visualization became a layman term. Before that, if you want to visualize some data, the process is so complicated and so technical that a layman could never understand how to do that. Because I was part of a project on ClickView and ClickView, not ClickSense, long back. I was a part of that project. I never worked, but yeah, I was there when that project is being delivered. And one of my friend, a colleague at that time, he worked on OBIW. And I know how complicated doing data visualization with those tools are. But with the Tableau, it is just like driverless car. I don't know how to drive a car. But for me, if I am a guy and Tableau is a car, BA is a car, and I am a guy who want to travel, then Tableau is my driverless car. Because without any prior knowledge, I can come and work on Tableau. Right? That is how even I entered. My story is that. That is how I entered. I don't have any technical background by the time I entered Tableau. And looking at it, said, okay, I can do this. That is what I thought. Because in that, everything is logic. And that is how I entered. And that is how I excel. And that is how I'm training. Right? So, many people ask me, what is a prerequisite to work on Tableau? Zero. No prerequisites to start working on Tableau. But the future is very good. Now here, basically what does Tableau do? In general, whatever the people need to write the SQL queries and all to get the data, Tableau writes them on your behalf. And it even suggests you a graph. Right? And installing and working on Tableau is so easy that it is even less complicated than installing a VLC player or something. No technicalities, just install that, just connect it to your data. It will give you a default data source. You can work on that data, Or you can, if you have any Excel or any other data source, you can directly connect to that and you can start working. Right? Now, there is a difference. It is easy when, so for the basic level, yeah, Tableau is very easy to work. But when it comes to complicated level, you need a little guidance about Tableau. Then you can do that work. Right? Now, this is Gartner's Magic Quadrant, and this is based on 2020 data. Right? In 2020, Tableau was in the leader. And not only 2020, from as long as I know Tableau, it is in the leadership. Now, Power BI is giving a bit of competition, but still Tableau is a leader. And its roots are so strong in the market. Because any other tool, there might be any other BI tool, but what Tableau gave, what flexibility Tableau gives us, that no other tool has. Right? Now, Tableau's journey, as I see. Now, basically, Tableau in the starting, it doesn't have many features. Like this has all the visualization features are there, but data manipulation level features are not that great. But with 10.5, there are two things that here. 10.5, when the version 10.5 was introduced, they gave us dot hyper, which is a data engine. I say bullet train, the bullet train of data engine. I say that. Now, from 10.5 to 2020.1, it is another level of journey. And even 10.5, they introduced LODs. And that is where I literally fell in love with Tableau. And from 10.5 to 2020, there are many, many minor changes. But like a makeover, from 2020.2, it has introduced something called as relationships. And literally, guys, relationships is like one-stop solution for any problem. Right? So that is why every time it did a change, every time I understood why Tableau has made that change, I always fell in love with them. Right? Now, what more generally Tableau has to offer? VisQL. VisQL is your DIY, do it yourself kit for data analysis. That is because when you pull any of this, right? Now, when you pull any of the fields from the view to data pane to view, whatever query is required, Tableau does that. Write that query and it will give you. Right? And Tableau data engine, which is dot hyper. Now, it is good in two ways. One thing is, it will compress your data because based on columnar database model, it will compress your data to 8 to 10% of its actual size. By that I mean, now you have 5 GB of data. Right? Now you have 5 GB of your data. When you put it in Tableau, it will be around 50 MB or so. Right? So that is the level of compression. And with cross DB joins, cross database joins, you can join between two data sources using Tableau. Earlier, working on one data source is, now if you want to connect that to another data source, it is a problem. But Tableau has brought this cross database joins, which made it very easy to connect and work on. Right? So how is the design flow in Tableau? Now, when you have a project or something, now I'm not talking about those requirement gathering and everything, but once you are given your data, now this is how your design flow is. You connect to the data source, you build your data views, you'll get the data into, right? You'll do all the data manipulation. Like you'll connect to the data, you'll build your data views by dragging the tables that you require, and you enhance those data views by writing all your calculation manipulations that are required. And from that, you create your worksheets, and then you'll organize those worksheets and create a dashboard. And dashboard is where you tell your stories. Okay, now once you present this to your stakeholders, then they will give you, obviously 99% they will give you changes that are required. So you'll go back to your worksheets and you'll again work on those changes. And then once you have your dashboard, then if you want, you can create a story using storyboard. Otherwise, your dashboard itself is actually meant to tell a story. Right? So that is how the design flow in Tableau works. Okay. Now, Till now it is about Tableau. Now what is that I have to offer in my scenario based Tableau training? And let me tell you guys, this is a real breakthrough in training. I'm not even talking about Tableau. In overall perspective, it is a real breakthrough in training. By that I mean, in this scenario, we have two types of learnings, right? It is like theoretical understanding of the tool and also industry level application of the tool. By that I mean theoretical part, what do you say, whatever the basics of Tableau, whatever the theoretical part of the Tableau is, that is given as a recordings. And the industry level application, whatever the scenarios that we have built or we have faced in our, almost me and my sister combined have 16 years of experience. In these 16 years of experience, what are those scenarios that we faced, right? This, the second part is upset of all those scenarios. Okay, so now we have divided the training into two parts. One is self-paced videos, which will give you theoretical part, and the live sessions every day. If it is every day, 1 hour, there will be a live session where scenario-based implementation of Tableau is discussed. Right? When we discuss a topic, now what is the, now certain scenarios will be there to understand that topic much better, and some other scenarios are real-time application of it. Why? Because in interviews or in real time, no one is going to ask you the theoretical part, very theory, because if you go with 5 years, 6 years experience, no one is going to ask theory. They will give you a scenario and ask you how will you solve that. And this 3 months of the duration, whatever the duration of the course, in this total duration, we will be discussing about that implementation. Right? So those are the scenarios that we cover in this. But we don't confine to the scenarios that we discuss, because we suggest you to be present on the social media, and there are many people asking their real-time doubts in that social media. You can bring those doubts to us, we can discuss. And even when we are talking about these scenarios, whenever we face a complicated scenario or something, then like YTD, fiscal year YTD, daylight sale calculations, or when I'm talking about table calculation, there are certain points which, when you write in it, will make your resume look very strong. And luckily, if that interviewer is influenced by that, and if you ask the questions on that, then you will definitely be able to answer that. So that is how we build this scenarios, right? Now, what does live sessions look at? Every Friday evening, right? Every Friday evening, we will be giving you a theoretical part videos for that week. Along with that, we will be providing you the scenarios. Now you will watch the videos in the weekend and then address those scenarios. Now, why do we say you should watch it in the weekend? Is because now in the weekday we are always busy, right, with our office and other things. So if you can complete the theoretical parts in the weekend, it will not be much, hardly 1.5 or 2 hours in total. So you can complete at your own pace in the weekend, and in the weekdays you can start attempting the scenarios. So before coming to the session itself, if you watch that video and address that scenarios, then you will get certain understanding and also certain doubts. So in the live session, first and foremost, all your doubts will be addressed. Then when we are discussing scenarios, we'll go by step approach, where when we are solving that, we will tell you what did we, or what are the steps involved when we are doing that, so that every step will be provided with a validation, so that you will know we are going in the right way. And it will also be a bookmark for you to check whether you are going right or not in the future. Right? As I always told you, in that doubts and scenarios, and if you have any other scenario that you have in your project, or you have in your, you saw it anywhere else, then you can bring that to us and we will discuss that. And what are the bonuses that you get with the training? Now in this social profile building, in this we'll concentrate on LinkedIn and Tableau Public. First, why Tableau Public is because If you have a strong Tableau public profile, every interview is asking for that, because they want to see your expertise, and Tableau public is one good place to understand that expertise. And some of the interviews I know went on Tableau public and Tableau public only. They asked them to explain whatever the dashboards that they have created in the Tableau public, and then they asked questions on that, and if they are impressed, your job is confirmed. And LinkedIn is because majoritarily I see LinkedIn is growing to where the openings are closed internally in the LinkedIn itself. If there is a referral or something, right? All these, the LinkedIn, we will help you grow that LinkedIn profile strong, so that you will get the job to yourself. You need not go and apply, because let me tell you, in India, I don't know about US market, but in India, before a posting came into Naukri, right? The majority of the positions are filled. First is internal IJPs, internal job postings. If there is any internal talent, then they'll fill with that. Then they'll ask their employees to refer whoever the people they have. That is the second layer. And if the post is not filled by these two, then they will come to the employment portals or job portals, right? So with the LinkedIn, will help you make your LinkedIn profile strong, so that these people, whoever are referring that, if you have them in your network, then they'll automatically they will ask you whether you are interested in that profile or not. Right? Now we will also give you interview help. Obviously, whenever you face an interview, now post the training, every month there will be a doubt session, right, for all the trainings that I have trained. Now in that, if you have any interview regarding scenarios where you cannot address that in your interview, we are there to help you. And also, as I told you, when the training is happening, we will tell you about the strong resume points, and you need to first understand them, master them, and then put in your resume, so that tomorrow, if the trainer will the interviewer asks, then you have a proper answer to give. And access to Telegram group. This is where this is the most powerful thing that I have to offer. This is more powerful than even my training. That is because once you got trained, then we are going to add you to a Telegram group. Now, okay, I'll get back to you, Shailesh. In this Telegram group, there will be all the trainees that are present. And here, if you have any doubt, if you are fixed at a certain point and you are not getting solution, now this group will contain all my trainees, me, and certain experts also I'm trying to bring in that group. So they will try to address that scenarios as soon as possible, so that you can work seamlessly. And also, as I told you, monthly doubt sessions are conducted. Okay, so based on this, we can address your real-time scenarios. And Shailesh has asked average salary in USA. That I'm not sure as of now. In India, I can tell you, in India, with somewhere around 6 to 8 years experience, India, it is easy to get about 20 LPA and above. But the US, I'm a bit not aware of that market. So yeah, I'll inquire around and I'll get that information. Right? Now, this is the agenda of the course where we plan to discuss in this, right? Okay, along with this, in the module 7, we are also including Tableau prep also, a 1 or 2 weeks course, right? Doubt session is not every Sunday, it's monthly once, right? So yeah, Tableau server and Tableau prep is also being introduced with a 2 weeks course about what is Tableau prep, how to understand, and a bit of real-time scenarios on that, along with the total course. Okay, and these are certain Tableau products, and this is the licensing cost that Tableau is having. Right, it is somewhere placed at $70. Yeah, so $70 for a creator, and $35 for an explorer, and $12 for the viewer. Right, creator, Sorry. Okay. Now Tableau's data tool cleaning tools are Tableau Prep. Data building tools are Tableau Desktop and Tableau Public. And whoever is coming on to Tableau now, Tableau Public is free to use, and Tableau Desktop is a paid version. Now there are two major differences or two major shortcomings when it's coming to Tableau Public. One is you can only connect to file data sources and Google Sheets only in using Tableau Public. You cannot connect to any data source. The second thing is you cannot you cannot save your work locally using Tableau Public. You can only save that in Tableau Public Cloud. Okay, rest all everything between Tableau Desktop and Tableau Public is the same. And as I showed you, there are the Tableau Desktop licensing cost per year is whatever the $70 is per month, right? It is user per month. So somewhere around $840 per year, if I'm not wrong, or $820, I'm not sure, but yeah, somewhere near that. Say $840 only, yeah. So $840 a year. But if you are a student and you have a student ID, then Tableau gives you this license for 1 year for free. Right? Then you can connect to data sources, save your work locally, and you can work in any way you want. Now, data sharing tools are Tableau Server. Tableau Server is on-premise, hosted by the company, and Tableau gives its license and all the server related info and all. Tableau Online is cloud, where that sorry guys, Tableau Online is a cloud server that is managed by Tableau. You can buy space from that and you can use that. And Tableau Reader is where if anyone of in your company wants to check the work that you have done, then if they install Tableau Reader in it, if you can send the Tableau file there, even if they don't have desktop in their system with the Tableau Reader, they can. And this is only read-only file. The Tableau Reader, you can only read. You cannot do any edits. And Tableau Mobile is just the basic like mobile, like an app where you can see the data. Right? So these are the links for installing various of these products. Okay? So that is about the presentation, guys. And that is about Tableau. Okay? So if you have any doubts, you can ask them. And before that, let me tell you the duration of the course is 3 months, because once that course is done, we can confidently say that you will be equal to 4+ years of experienced candidate in the market. We can promise you that. So that is the level of, what do you say, detailing that we do in the course, so that you face majority of the scenarios which is faced by a 4-year experienced guy. Because we are exposing you to those scenarios, those complicated scenarios. Okay. So yeah. Okay then. Thanks a lot, everyone, for attending this session. Okay. Bye guys. Thanks.